What if the most revealing story a journalist ever lives is the one he never tells? Bill Hemmer has spent nearly 30 years reporting the worst moments in modern history, yet the one story he never talks about is his own. Viewers know his steady voice during national crises, but they don't see the personal cost of a life built entirely around breaking news. While rumors have circled him for more than a decade, Hemmer has quietly lived without a wife, without a family, and without explanation. And now, when you trace the path he chose, the reasons behind his solitude feel far more layered and far more heartbreaking than anyone imagined. Long before the lights and cameras, there was a teenager in Cincinnati discovering a microphone. Growing up in Cincinnati, he discovered broadcasting as a teenager, hosting a small student-run radio show. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't paid, and it certainly wasn't something most kids his age would care about. But it gave him something he couldn't find anywhere else: a sense of purpose. At just 16, while others were chasing freedom, he was chasing perfection. Even at 16, he treated every broadcast as if the world were listening, staying after school to rehearse, editing his own notes, rewriting his scripts long after his classmates had gone home. While other teenagers experimented with relationships, parties, and weekend adventures, Hemmer was already training himself for a career that would eventually demand everything from him. That early seriousness wasn't an accident. It was the beginning of a pattern that would define the rest of his life. College didn't slow him down, it sharpened him. When he entered Miami University, that commitment only intensified. He didn't just study journalism, he lived it. Every elective he chose, every club he joined, every internship he applied for revolved around media. While others were finding themselves, he was narrowing his world. He spent hours in campus radio, stayed late in student newsrooms, and rarely took breaks. College is often a time when people explore socially, build early relationships, and discover who they are outside of academics. But for Hemmer, everything was channeled into one direction. There was no backup plan. Hemmer wasn't building a social life, he was building a career. After graduation, he jumped straight into sports reporting at WCPO-TV in Cincinnati, facing late nights, unpredictable schedules, and constant pressure. He thrived on the adrenaline of live reporting, but personal time always came second. That drive caught CNN's attention, and in 1995, at just 30, he leapt to national news, becoming a recognizable figure. Hurricanes, political conventions, and the 2000 Florida recount earned him the nickname the Chad Lad. But personal life slipped away. After 9/11, reporting from Afghanistan left no room for stability. By 2005, his career soared, but solitude was cemented. Joining Fox News as co-anchor of America's Newsroom with Dana Perino made him the calm center of national chaos. He was the first call in every crisis: elections, disasters, attacks. During this time, Dara Tomanovich was his partner, but opposite schedules and constant absences quietly ended the relationship in 2013. After that, silence became his shield. Speculation about co-anchors Sandra Smith, Megyn Kelly, and Dana Perino swirled. In 2019, a fake shirtless photo, traced to Tiger Woods, forced a rare public denial where he briefly referenced having a girlfriend but revealed no details. Mystery became his permanent headline. For Hemmer, work consumed every space. Breaking news doesn't respect birthdays, anniversaries, or routines. From 9/11 to war zones, mass shootings to national disasters, he didn't just report chaos, he lived inside it. Eventually, the trips stopped interrupting his life. They became his life. Airports replaced routines. Deadlines replaced stability. How do you build a family when you might be deployed within hours? By his mid-50s, the answer was clear. The stability marriage requires had simply never existed. Admiration isn't companionship. Viewers trusted him. Colleagues relied on him. But respect doesn't fill the quiet left by missed holidays and empty homes. Sometimes the choice isn't between love and career. It's between two entirely different lives. With time, the noise faded and clarity remained. His life wasn't accidental. It was the result of decades of deliberate choices. He may not have built a traditional family, but he built something lasting: purpose. Beyond the newsroom, he returned each year to Cincinnati to host the George Niddle Memorial Bailey Place Golf Classic, honoring his grandfather and raising funds for Bailey Senior Living. In its own way, that became his version of home. A legacy rooted not in marriage, but in service. In its own way, that became his version of home. In a quiet way, it became his form of family life, one built on memory, community, and responsibility, rather than marriage or children. Hemmer also dedicated time to causes supporting veterans, especially those who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. These weren't performative appearances. They were deeply personal extensions of what he had witnessed. They were extensions of the stories he had witnessed firsthand, the sacrifices he had reported on, the men and women whose experiences had shaped the way he covered war and conflict. This work offered him a sense of connection that fulfilled him in ways traditional relationships perhaps never could. Inside the newsroom, loyalty became its own kind of bond. Inside the newsroom, his partnerships, particularly with Dana Perino, functioned as a kind of emotional ecosystem. Shared crises, shared deadlines, shared pressure-forged bonds of trust that many people only find in family. These relationships didn't follow the pattern society expects, but they were meaningful, sustaining, and central to who he became. And beyond the studio lights, he kept one thing firmly protected: himself. And on social media, the glimpses he offered were consistently professional, always respectful, never personal. The boundaries he drew were deliberate, reflecting a man who knew the cost of letting the public too far into his private world. In the end, the reason Bill Hemmer never married is neither scandalous nor mysterious. It's not a scandal. It's a life shaped by devotion. His life evolved around journalism, service, and a deep preference for privacy. The commitments he carried left little space for a family of his own, and over time, he accepted that reality without bitterness or regret. And maybe that's the real story, quiet proof that fulfillment doesn't always follow the path people expect. Now, it's your turn. Do you think Bill Hemmer's demanding career left him with no real chance at marriage? Or was it simply his choice to live privately on his own terms? If you enjoy classic Hollywood stories, timeless glamour, and legendary stars, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Share your favorite old Hollywood icon in the comments, or tell us who you'd love to see featured next. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new deep dive into Hollywood's golden age.